What's up, everybody? I'm the Sonoran Desert Grower, and today we're gonna cover some news you can use. This is a, I'm not sure if this is a video, an article. I sent it to myself because of the headline here. Um, it's entitled, "Will the Valley be habitable in 2050?" An environmental scientist says yes, but with these changes, some parts of our state are already experiencing trouble getting water. Temperatures are getting hotter. So can we handle a million more people? And I'm not sure if this video is attached to this article, but we're gonna check it out.
812 News is launching a new series called Boomtown, looking at how the valley's population is expected to explode over the next couple of decades, and resources are top of mind.
From water to housing, jobs, and infrastructure, can Arizona support the droves of people moving here? Team 12's Michael Doudna spoke with the experts about the choices
No. The answer is no. And it's been no for a long ass time.
that could impact our future.
The city keeps booming, but as we grow, will we go bust?
You get that sickening hollow ring to it. It's like, oh no.
Already in rural parts of Arizona, vital resources are running dry.
Do you have a well that's down 750 feet with no luck?
The neighbor drilled right across the street, 1,300 feet down, and didn't hit a drop.
Water restrictions are
So if you're new around here, and this is one of the first videos that you've gotten to watch of mine, we have covered extensively how in Arizona, there's no regulation around groundwater use. A business can move into your rural community and start pumping out as much groundwater as they see fit. And this happens all the time. We have international agricultural businesses moving to the state to do exactly that during a mega drought. And there's people in rural areas losing water.
coming thanks to a depleted lake mead. And with the valley scheduled to grow by more than 1 million people, can we handle everyone who wants to be here? Can we handle people by more than 1 million people scheduled to grow by
Look at all this grass. This is pure insanity. Look at all this freaking grass in Phoenix. What is wrong with y'all? You're in the desert. You cannot have all this grass. This is insane. Let's get back to where we're at.
Can we handle everyone who wants to be here?
So it's certainly it'll be habitable, no question. I think it's whether you want to live that way.
Professor Catherine Jacobs studies this for a living. And to be clear, Arizona is not heading towards some uninhabitable wasteland. But with increasing temperatures and a dwindling water supply, life might just get more unpleasant, more expensive, and less convenient.
There's no doubt that the way water is being used today is not the way it will be used in 2050.
That could mean changes to who gets water and when.
That means you're not going to be able to carry your hundreds of fruit trees into the future with you. That means that if you have a bunch of raised beds in your backyard, you're not going to be able to sustain that moving into the future. Just like you're not going to be able to grow a bunch of grass because it makes you feel good. We're in the desert and we need to adapt. We're losing our water.
It could mean less water for agriculture, for fun. And without changes, the latest projections say we will see 130 days a year over 100 degrees and less than 9 inches of rain annually.
That being said, we can very much change the trajectory of what our future looks like.
In the end, Jacobs says it comes down to choices. Do we choose more renewable energy, to regulate water outside of the city, or make small adjustments to our day-to-day lives?
You know, are we buying raspberries imported from Peru or are we buying them from California?
And depending on decisions like those, Jacobs believes Arizona could either become a destination location for decades, or we could face a more brutal future and be left with one last choice: if it's worth it to stay in the valley.
From everything we eat during the day to where we set our thermostat, that affects the future of the planet.
Michael Doudna, 12 News.
Okay. So one of the things that really stood out for me was that figure of 130 days over 100 degrees by 2040. So that's more than half the year. And that's just a crazy thing to think about. Over having triple digit heat for like over 6 months. Um, and I guess that is still habitable, but it's gonna be rough, especially for elders and pets and animals and plants. The native plants will be fine, but all these exotic fruit trees are gonna have a hard ass time. And that's the other thing is like how many chill hours are all these fruit trees gonna get with 6 months of the year being over triple digit heat? So I don't know, like I'm not I've been on this whole kick for over a decade. So this is like old news to me. And I've been building up my permaculture site to handle this stuff. I have 27 trees, only two of them are fruit trees. The rest are native food-bearing trees. So that is a real food forest. That is a food forest that is resilient. It can handle these major climatic changes. And I just don't see people really understanding this when they go and start building a quote unquote food forest that consists of nothing but fruit trees and raised beds. They're not even planting the rain. And we are in the desert. It's completely devoid of the natural environment and ecosystem that we are a part of. So again, I'm sorry to hit y'all with the super sad news, but it's important to, stay on top of this and remind ourselves what the actual situation is and what we're dealing with so that we can plan and move accordingly. Um, you have to set up your native food bearing trees and your native food bearing plants. You have to get your in-ground gardens in order, your sub-irrigated planters for your container garden in order, you know, um, have a select planting of fruit trees that you can sustain off of rainwater and gray water resources. That's the way to do it. So if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing. I have a thriving Patreon community. You can find it at www.patreon.com/the Sonoran Desert Grower. I publish my new book on there, the Dryland Permaculture Growing Guide. It's over 100 pages and it will teach you how to enter the abundance zone. You can grow more food with less water. That's what we're all about here, is growing more food with less water and doing for self. So please check it out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.